Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how I cut up food for my green iguana, and I've kind of changed how I did it before, not only because the green iguana is grown, but also for other reasons. And here you can see is a huge watermelon that grew in my garden this year, which I'll also be cutting up for a couple different reasons that you'll see in this video, but mainly to feed it to my green iguana because he really likes fruit like most green iguanas do. So today I'm only going to be doing romaine lettuce, and that's just because like we didn't end up going to the store, that I get the red romaine and then some other type of green like kale every once in a while. Collard greens are good. Radish greens, dandelion greens, stuff like that. But today it's just romaine, which again, like I said, isn't ideal. You definitely want more of a variety, but like I said, I normally give them different things. So I'm just washing them off real quick. And then I set out these, all these leaves out to dry on a towel out on my table, which is where I generally cut them up, but I won't really have to cut these up, I don't think, anymore. Maybe just rip all of them in half, and then rip them in half, and then sorry, I'm getting these out, and then just put them in a container until they're fed to the iguana. So I rip off the bottom because the bottom can store like dirt, and I don't know if there's like pesticides or whatnot on these. I just want to be safe, so make sure I wash them off, or any bugs, mainly bugs I'm worried about. Well, obviously pesticides would be harmful to the iguana, but bugs may be harmful to my terrarium. So I wash off everything, just like you do with vegetables that you eat. And today I have 3 or 4 of these leaf lettuce hearts, if they're called. And also at the bottom, you see how it's like white? That's kind of like how the entirety of what is it? Iceberg lettuce is. It's all white basically, and it just doesn't have very many nutrients. So like the bottom is really just like more water rich, and I can definitely tell that the iguana doesn't seem to favor that as much as the rest. Also, it's, like I said, it helps with cleaning out if I take the bottom piece off. Now here's the final one, and then I'm going to be doing some like full-size carrots. I normally just get like baby carrots, and that's what I'll use. I need to be doing more squash. I've done other things before, but mainly it's just a green and then carrots. But I need to start doing like butternut squash, and I can't think of the other one right now, but there's a bunch of different squashes and stuff. I think I've given them cucumber and maybe zucchini before as well. But right now I'm just doing just like a few of these big carrots. I think I'm going to try to, normally I cut them into small pieces. What I think I'm going to try to do is do like longer slices this time, because I think that would be like the ideal way for him to actually end up eating them, because a lot of the time the pieces kind of slide by the leaves, which he normally wants the leaves, and then it feeds the cleanup crew, and they'll end up eating the leftover carrots. But I'm going to try to cut them in a different way. We're going to see how it goes. So as you saw real quick, I still have quite a bit of lettuce here, and like I said, it's not very nutrient rich, but like also like I said, it's like iceberg lettuce, and iceberg lettuce is good for it's really water filled. So with things like tortoises that maybe won't go and just drink as much, like it's good to feed up more water filled plants. But in my case, I have dubia roaches, so what I'll do is I'll take this extra bit here on all of these and I'll feed it to the dubia roaches, and that can be beneficial for them because that can be like their water source basically, because the only water source they have is eating fresh veggies, so that's better for them. Okay, so while my lettuce is drying over there, I'm cutting up this pumpkin. So as you can see, watermelon. As you can see, it's a very large watermelon. I picked it a long time ago. It's currently winter now. I picked it in fall, or it's not winter yet, but it's cold outside and stuff. It's been sitting out in my garage. I think it's like way overripe, but it's not soft anywhere. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it just to see like inside and everything, and then I will probably just keep some of the insides to feed to my iguana, because like I said, when it's overripe, it's I don't know, the taste is kind of off. But what I think I'm going to be doing is I'm going to slice off all the rind or whatever, and I'm going to cut it up into small pieces, and then when I set up the new iguana cage and the new crested gecko cage, I'm going to mix that into the soil, and it'll be just like one more thing for the isopods and springtails to break down. So I have my knife here, and by the way, the reason that I washed this watermelon off is because like in my garden, I have 2 ducks, and they would like nest in the garden, and also most of the garden dirt is like leftover chicken and goat bedding. So I was just kind of worried about putting the watermelon on my thing here if it was like all dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste this. It's like I don't know how to describe it actually. It's like weird. This is actually very strange. So normally obviously it's red, now it's pink. That probably can't be a good thing. It's past ripe for sure, but it's like crystallized almost, like it's just like sugar now. Like when a banana gets really old, it like kind of compresses and it's like really sugary. That's what this is like, but I'm sure it's probably not super great for me to be eating. So I'm gonna set one right here, and then I'm gonna speed this up. I'm gonna cut off the rind and keep it, and then keep some of the insides because I know my iguana likes watermelon. So I'm not exactly sure how good of an idea it is to add this to my soil. It'll probably rot, but what I'm planning on is maybe if I get worms, then they would like really be very prolific if I put them in the soil. Here are just the rind. I'm gonna cut them all up into small pieces or slivers or whatnot, and that will be going into my soil. Again, it'll feed any insects and like different bacteria within the soil, and it'll basically break down. I didn't want to use any of this stuff because this will like properly mold. This is the rest of the pumpkin. I only used 1/4 of the pumpkin, and I'll be feeding that to my iguana. If it makes you feel any better, this isn't really wasted because I accidentally grew these watermelons in my garden. I just threw seeds out there from a different watermelon that I ate. They grew. Nothing was wasted there. Out of a pile, they grew out of a pile of, like I said, like old chicken bedding. And now this will be thrown back out into the garden, and it'll rot, and then next year there'll probably be more watermelons because this thing's filled with seeds. So again, not really anything wasted in my mind there. We just didn't get to eating it. We had like 7 watermelons, and this was the biggest one. So it's too bad, but it'll be fine. So now I'll be getting to cutting up the iguana's food, the other iguana food. So I thought I filmed the rest, but basically it was really simple. I just cut all the leaves in half, and now I'm just cutting up the rest of the carrot. So I'd actually filmed the whole process of that, but I did not put it in time lapse, and I've been watching YouTube while doing it, and it was like 23 minutes long. So sorry you won't be able to see that, but basically just cut up the carrots and just like thin slices as you saw, and cut like all the leaves in half basically, so they're still pretty big. And then I've been keeping them in these 2 containers, and what I'll do is every day I just grab a certain amount out and I put it in. And I do that, I used to do baggies, but I've been trying to cut down on using stuff like that you only use once. So that's why I've been using containers. And then here we have the watermelon for him. So that should be good for him for quite a while. And now I'm going to take these little nubs here and I'll go give those to my dewberry roaches. My dewberry roaches, they breed way faster than I feed them off, which is great because I love having more insects. They're just really cool. So they've been eating like a ton. Like I'll put it in, and I'll put a bunch of lettuce in. The next day it'll all be gone, like a crazy amount. So I'll go add these in. Any scraps like that I give to them. They love fruit, like apples and pears. They'll eat like down to the very seeds, and that'll be it. It's really crazy. So now I'm gonna cut up the thing of watermelon rind. So that's pretty much it for what I feed the iguana. Like I said, I do other greens, and I'm going to be trying other like solid type of things like squash. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like it down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put it in the comments below. And for more content, and then subscribe. I didn't get to cutting up all the rind, but I'll get to it later. Winter break's coming up, so I'll have lots of time to do things like this. And definitely stay tuned to see the build for the huge iguana cage that I will be building.